Bodybuilding is stupid. I'm sorry, but I believe bodybuilding is a net negative when it comes to the fitness space. I just don't have to tell you that starving yourself until your penis doesn't work is a bad idea. It's pretty obviously a bad idea. You need to get a fake tan, flex on a stage in your underwear so other guys can judge you. And I just want to clarify, if that's your thing, go for it. But I'm going to tell you why it's not my thing and why it's probably not majority of people's things. So not only do I think it's a bad idea for the individual, but it's also bad for people like you and me just on social media. Because once this person is done on stage and throughout their whole prep, they're gonna be taking photos, posting on Instagram, being shredded and jacked. And when enough people do this, this will create what a lot of people have been calling physique inflation, where the standard of physiques are just going up and up every year. 10 years ago, this was an elite physique. Fast forward to today, that will get roasted on Instagram. And again, this doesn't actually just go for bodybuilders specifically, but I guess the culture surrounding bodybuilding, especially on social media, where these influencers who spend all their time and effort trying to look as good as possible, and it's just not realistic for most people. Most people can't spend as much effort trying to look lean as you. So, hello, this is Ezra from the future. I'm just editing this video. I feel like I didn't really explain that all too well. What I'm trying to get at when I say not everyone can put as much effort into looking as good as possible, like a fitness influencer, is... But what I'm trying to get at when I say that is fitness influencers' whole income and livelihood is surrounding their looks. In fact, the better they look, the more money they will get because the more engagement they will get. And they'll go the extra effort with everything, which I explain a little bit later, but literally everything to look as good as possible. Whereas normal people with jobs or who are studying cannot. Because let me ask you, if your whole job was to look as good as possible, whether it's through dieting or training or whatever means it is, you would probably look a lot better. And for them, it is. But for normal people, it's not. So enjoy the rest of the video. Bro, this camera is so cool. Most people don't have fancy cameras which enhance their physique. And most people don't spend hours learning how to pose or trying to get the perfect picture. But I do understand the other side of it is it's Instagram, everything's through a filter. But again, physique inflation is just a real thing. And then average people start to think, oh, is that what a good physique is meant to look like? Is that healthy? I should try and look like that. I don't have abs. Oh crap, I'm doing something wrong. It's like, no, you're not. Shredded abs, delt veins, chest veins, erectile dysfunction, that's not healthy. In fact, it's the opposite. And I don't even want to get started on the topic of steroids, because that is waffle. But I'm not saying that building muscle and losing body fat is bad. I think it's incredibly healthy. I think it's incredibly healthy in moderation and also with a specific intention. And that's why the sport of bodybuilding is inherently bad, because it focuses purely on looks and aesthetics rather than genuine long-term health, performance, and just training to feel better. Or even just to have fun and learn a new skill. So what are the key takeaways for you at home? Well, if you're just starting off in your fitness journey and you are overweight, lose body fat. If you need help with that, first link in the description for a month's worth of free guidance about fat loss. Anyways, lose body fat. And if you don't have any muscle, build muscle. But once you have developed a good amount of muscularity and you've lost enough weight, I say enough because it's subjective to the person, but if you've lost enough weight to the point where you're happy and built some good muscularity, try to find a sport or shift your focus away from looks. If we go down the route of sports, it could be any sport you want. Now that you've built a solid foundation of muscularity and you're not overweight, your chances of injury are much less. This sport could literally be whatever you want. Jiu-jitsu, powerlifting, CrossFit, high rocks training, bouldering. I'm listing off sports that I enjoy, except for CrossFit. And you are not too old. Try a new sport. Give it a shot, because you might find one of your favorite hobbies ever. Now, if you just want to continue in the gym, shift your focus away from looks. Progression over blocks of training. If you want as well, try to pick up some fun skills in the gym. Learn how to do the splits, learn how to do a muscle up, learn how to do a handstand. All that fun stuff can be done in the gym and is so much more fun than just trying to be as jacked as possible or as lean as possible. Because another thing as well is bodybuilding can just be so boring. It's the same 10 movements done for months on end. Once those newbie gains are over, the return on investment in building muscle is just a lot worse. And once you've lost a certain amount of body fat, it doesn't help you to get any leaner, and it can become a bit unhealthy. So that's why I like to shift the focus away from just getting more muscle and getting leaner to try a new sport, or even let's focus on getting a pull-up, or let's focus on doing a handstand. Another thing I want to mention is just spend less time on social media. Mate, if you spent an hour every day with the 1% richest people on the planet, you'd feel broke, very broke. I feel broke right now, and I'm not even, man, I'm just broke. But my point is, when you spend time with the top 1% of anything, you'll feel pretty bad. When you spend an hour a day on social media with the top 1% physiques in the world, you'll feel pretty bad. Spend less time on social media, because that whole hour is probably filled with elite physiques. You go to the shopping center, walk around for 20 minutes, no one looks that good. Even in the gym, I don't know about your gym, but my gym, barely anyone looks that good. Now, I just want to clarify a couple things if you're a bodybuilder watching this. Firstly, I do understand that bodybuilding takes a lot of effort and dedication and discipline, and I actually fully respect that. It's 100% couldn't do it. I'm just saying that it's not for me, and it's probably not for the average person watching this either. I also do not think all bodybuilders are bad people and should be condemned to hell or have huge egos. I know people who do bodybuilding, and they're lovely people. I'm just saying that I don't like the sport and the culture surrounding it. And I think that's a fair statement to say. And if you're thinking, wow, you're so small, why should I listen to you? First of all, no, I'm actually not that jacked. But you're probably a part of the problem, so goodbye.